Hey guys, welcome to the update of this character, second video, and today I just wanted to give you a small update on where we are now. This will also be the last video, just so you know. And I've reached so far level 92, and I have to say that I'm fairly happy with where the build ended up. I want to first of all thank all of you for all the comments, all the responses, and basically all the everything. Because I got a lot out of that, and the comments were really good, really useful, and yeah, I think that's great. So I'm definitely going to be doing some more of these in the future, but for now I just wanted to see where I ended up, and I will be starting with my gear, and I'll tell a little bit along the way some of the decision making, some of the things that I learned, and where we are right now. So I stuck with the double void battery, simply because the whole idea at the start of making this build was to use the void battery. I found one of these and I thought, oh, that's actually a pretty cool item. What can I do with that? So I thought I will equip 2 of those and we will go the power charge route. And I did, and I kept to that idea. That means that I am running these two void batteries. That gives me 2 additional power charges. I got a helmet with +1 level AoE. We got the Impulsas, which is great. An amulet with crit multi and not much else to speak of. A ring that gives me Herald of Thunder level 22 and gives me a curse, or a mark, I would say, a level 12 Assassin's Mark when you hit. This is another ring that gives me a curse, connectivity on hit, very basic gloves. A little bit of increased crit chance against shocked enemies, which is nice. Very basic Stygian Vice with just life and resistances. And these unique boots, Inya's Epiphany, Arcanist Slippers. This is a little bit of additional scaling for the power charges. And it gives me 25% chance that if you would gain a power charge, you instantly get all of them. So that's good, because my maximum is 9 at the moment. And it's a 1 in 4 chance that whenever I get a power charge, which is fairly often, I will get all 9 of them. Particularly good when bossing. And that's it. The flasks didn't really change. We got the Cinder Swallow, we got a Quicksilver of Adrenaline, a Diamond Flask, which I think is a requirement for any crit build, right? And then an Ample Quartz Flask of Heat. In terms of gems, the main link is going to be Arc, Spell Echo, Inspiration, Power Charge on crit, Lightning Pen and added lightning damage. You can see that the gems have improved quite a bit. Most of them are 20/20. The ones that are not, like Inspiration, doesn't really do much, right? Supported skills have increased inspiration charge durations. I don't really think that matters at all, to be honest, because I'm always attacking. So I always have these things up. Auras, we got Flesh and Stone, which is still in the process of leveling. I got Wrath, I got Withering Step, which is not an aura, but it's in here. And Enlighten, level 3. And I have the third aura is the Herald of Thunder skill, which is coming from my ring. It's level 22, so that's not too bad. Then we got a Arcanist brand, and I honestly didn't really know that this thing existed even. I mean, I knew it existed, but I didn't really knew what it did. And what it does, this is quite interesting actually. This is a brand, so it attaches to enemies. And then in this case, it starts casting spells, whatever spell you link to it. So I linked Wave of Conviction, which reduces their resistances, and I linked Connectivity, which also reduces their resistances. So I'm cursing over here with Connectivity, I'm reducing the resistances with Wave of Conviction, and all of that is extremely nice. Then we have a cast when damage taken setup, temporal change, cast when damage taken, Hydrosphere, which is once again reducing resistances, and Immortal Call, which is a defensive layer, makes me take less elemental and physical damage, so that's very good. I have faster casting, Flame Dash, Arcane Surge, Second Wind. Arcane Surge is level 1 there, so it gives me a little bit of more spell power. And the last one is a Sigil of Power, another Hydrosphere, which I can cast myself if need be, and the Summon Stone Golem, which I hardly ever cast. Doesn't really do too much. I could put something else in here, but I honestly wouldn't really know what. Maybe an Enduring Cry for I don't know, a boss and you can just click it or something, like a free potion. Not entirely sure. That's the overview. If we go to the passives, the biggest change is that I am now an occultist. I'm an occultist. I can apply an additional curse over here, and cursed enemies deal less damage and take more damage. I have Profane Bloom, which makes everybody explode, which is always nice. I have regen and stun immunity whenever I have an energy shield. And here is additional scaling per power charge. 6% increased damage per power charge. A power charge after you're spending 200 mana and another +1. So we totally went the power charge route. And you can also see that in the skill tree, which I optimized I think quite a bit. You can roughly see clusters of 3 things in here. 4 if you count lightning damage to some extent, but it's mostly 3 things. We got power charges, which is mostly blue. Here's a power charge. Here we have the power charges. There's a power charge. And there's one over here. We have life, wherever we can take it basically. So that's mostly red nodes, right? Life over here. This is a bit of life. That's a bit of life. Here's a little bit of life. This is life and mana. This is life and mana, and this is life. Here, a little bit of life. So, quite a bit of life. We got 5k and 600 energy shield, which is not too bad. And then jewels, whenever you can take it. And I bought a bunch of cheap jewels that have at least 2 stats. Increased life, once again. And crit multi with lightning skills. These are extremely cheap. You can buy these for like 20k or something. So I just got a bunch of those. And then another 3rd or 4th stat on there that is just random. Totally fine. I have Corrupting Blood one. Those are a bit more expensive. But then you can also see this is pretty bad. It doesn't have life on it, for example. So I think I paid like 50k or something for this. Not too bad at this point in the league, right? An additional curse, which is over here. And then more crit, right? Crit chance for spells, crit multi. There's some more crit over here. Is this crit too? Yes, it's also crit. Here is some more crit over there. Yeah, that's what we're currently do. This is the anointment, also crit. That's currently where we are at. Overall, I think this tree already looks a lot better than the previous one. It makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more efficient. I did quite a bit of tinkering in path building, and this is what I eventually came up with. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It performs decently. So what I will do for you guys is create a snapshot in path building, and I will put it down below if you're interested in what I have done to date. Like I said, it will be the last video. I'll not be progressing this character any further, because my goal was basically to see like how far can I push something like this, and what does something like this look like when I create it myself. I am pretty convinced that if you want an Archwitch, which is good, you should probably just do Enki's Archwitch, right? He's played this for probably like 25 leagues or something, and I am sure that he creates a much better character than this. However, you know, if you do like the look of this and you want like an Archwitch occultist that explodes enemies, then, you know, be my guest, but know that the single target in particular is not very good. Right, so I'm just gonna pick out a tier. Let's do a tier 15 maybe map. You want to be a little bit careful of what all kind of crap you put on the map, right? I'm also playing on Awakening level 9. Yeah, you gotta be a little bit careful with like all the stuff that you're doing. Maybe we want to take it a little bit easier. Let's do this Foundry, right? Level 15 Foundry, nothing too insane. Extra Fizz is cold, and the Bloodline mod, I honestly don't really know what the Bloodline mod does. We'll give Fortune Favors the Brave. No, nothing like this, I don't think. Is there? No, it doesn't really matter, right? And then let's just see. So tier 15, Awakening level 9, and let's have a look. Please be aware that I'm sitting in front of a rather big window, and I'm sort of like, I'm a little bit vision impaired by that, but yeah, not too many excuses, I guess. let's wait a little bit for everything to load in, and hopefully, you know, we like don't die all the time, and we can just clear this fairly well. Now, as you can remember probably from last video, and there's a decent chance that you watched the last video, right? If you're watching this one, ooh, that was quite a little damage already, by the way. Then I had issues clearing tier 10, right? Tier 10, 11 was already a little bit challenging. So I'm happy to say that I would consider this fairly, you know, this is pretty much fine. It's pretty much fine. These guys always suck with the proximity shields, of course. That's always really bad. But mostly, you know, it goes pretty well. We're not going to do the harvest. This harvest sucks this league. Ooh, oh, what was that? Oh, that's they explode with the desecrated crown or something. Yeah, not too much I can do there. Like I said, I can't really see too well because I'm blinded by the sun. Also, my chaos res is negative. And if you want to avoid that kind of stuff, make sure you have some void res, right? Alright, let's see how far we get over here. Now, I've already know... Yep, I was about to say, I've already noticed these guys do quite a bit of damage, right? Because of the extra fizz, and they're all goatman, which like hit like trucks. But it's fine, don't worry about it. You can actually do these things rather well. You just have to be careful and realize, which, you know, I'm showing you here basically, that this is not an extremely tanky build. So if you give them like crit multi and whatnot, you're gonna run into some issues, especially, you know, for ultimatum where everything is super packed, and yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. But otherwise, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. But you know, it's basically something that I created with the help of you in the end. And I'm fairly happy with this. I'm also not really trying to sell you that this is a good build, right? That's not the point. Like, I am not saying like, oh, this does like, I don't know, 20 million DPS or something. Not at all, right? Oh, this is a nasty boss, by the way. Should have thought about that one a little bit more. Holy shit, dude. Oh, I didn't see that, like, at all. The whole point of this video is not like, hey, look at me and how good this build is, right? The point is to sort of show you where I'm stuck, and that is probably like a relatable, right? Why does this hurt so much, by the way? That is somewhat relatable, and that we can together figure out like what is wrong and why some things don't work and why other things do work and are a good idea, right? So yeah, that's it. I have no idea why I'm taking that much damage, but he's dead, so that's one thing, I guess. And we still need to kill that dude over there. Now, if you have a bit better vision than me, and maybe know this boss a little bit better, because this is a fairly new boss, then it's probably okay. But as you can quite clearly see, I guess, is that the single target is okay-ish, but it's not amazing, right? If you want good single target, then you either need to improve this build further, get better gear, or simply play something else. So for clear, I would say it's fairly decent. Tankiness, not so much. We can definitely improve, like you can level up more. Not if you die 5 times, of course, per map. You can get some more life, you can get some other stuff. The gear is still rather mediocre. I think the gear investment would be... I think you're looking here at maybe 5 exalts. Maybe, right? And 3.5 of those are in the impulses. If you throw another maybe 20 exalts or something at this, and you create another power charge in your helmet, and you do some other stuff, then I'm sure that it's going to, you know, do a lot more damage. If you do more multipliers, I'm sure it's going to do more damage. If you go cluster jewel routes, there are some very good cluster jewels you can craft for this or you can buy for this, but those are also very expensive. So I typically, at least for the first implementations of my builds, I don't really use many cluster jewels unless I already have them. But you clearly have access, right? I mean, this is a good spot over here. You can slot one in. This is also fairly accessible if you want, so you can definitely do that too. Plenty of options, but this is what I came up with. I try to keep it fairly simple, and you know, I'm just happy that in the end we were able to create something that at least works. I leveled this to 92, so it's not total trash. As you can see, mapping is quite nice. Normally I play on my other PC, which runs much better as well, so then I don't really die as much, right? And I can actually see stuff. So yeah. And that is mainly it, guys. That's mainly what I wanted to show. I really am glad that you guys seem to enjoy this kind of content. It's very different from what I'm normally making, but hopefully still useful. And it's fun for me as well. Relatively easy, you could say. Although I have to play the game a lot, but I don't have to like write an entire script and whatnot. So it's a nice change from the otherwise quite edited and scripted content. So that's it for now. I think I will keep the character around, but I'm not gonna level this much more. I'm actually playing another build at the moment that I basically stole from Don the Crown, and I'm iterating on that a little bit. It's a super fun steel build, gladiator steel build. Can really recommend. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.